we are in round.
Yeah, work on the accent though, man. We have enough French accents around here.
You're in the prime.
Yeah, I'm in the bad
Prime spot there.
I need the...
In the camera already.
Yeah, he's flashing the camera.
We are on NSL Talk. Joey, fire away.
Welcome back to the 2011 Shamrock Showdown. I'm here with the coaches, and we're going to do a little coaches' corner. Get everybody's thoughts and opinions on the upcoming meet. Schmitty, why don't you lead us off?
Well, the drop zone picking up busy. All the top teams are coming in. I think for me, all arrived, barring airspeed right now. I'm not sure in the girls' department if I've heard Tenacity's arriving. But other than here, the drop zones, as you can see in the background, drop zones rolling early morning, and teams are already, I believe, on low 2.
And who are you here coaching?
I'm here with the German girls,
Okay.
Dutch team Whoops, and British team Sonic Nuts.
And the German girls did pretty good last year, huh? I mean,
they've had member changes.
They've had a member change as well. It seems like that's the story of the year, huh?
Yes, it's happened, I think, everywhere, all over. But they've done a lot of tunnel time in the bot drop, and but short on jump numbers. So they've done a camp previously with Solly in January, and of course looking good, but they're not. No one's going to be ready for the Shamrock, is my belief right now. It's too early.
We're not going to see any top performance.
No. Mr. Shannon Pilcher is on his way in.
All right.
Good morning, Shannon.
Join the crowd.
Pilch?
We've been waiting for you.
And what else we got going on in the...
Shannon Pilcher, Gary Smith, Marin Ferret, Joey Jones, Solly Williams. Welcome to the NSL Talk on March.
Since we're talking about the female category, Marin, how's your team been doing? You got member changes as well?
Yes, it's okay with a new team that has been changed by 50%.
50%, oh, okay. Yeah. Big change then.
Yes, big change, yes. So they have already done maybe a 6 hour of tunnel time and a training camp in Eloy, 100 jumps.
Okay.
And so now it's
a good start?
Good, huh? Yeah, it's okay, yes.
And your open class team, open category team?
The open class team is also working hard. They have a change of one person. Manu Sarrazin took the slot of Jérémy Rolette.
Okay.
And they also did a little less than wind tunnel, maybe 4 hours, 5 hours, I don't know. And another training camp in Eloy.
In Eloy for the Valentine's.
Jumps, yes.
Great.
Guys, let's cut to the chase, all right? Who is number one right now? I've not discussed this with anybody so far. I'm always saying there are so many other things to talk about the teams and the coaches, and I love to do this. But now we're all here together, and I've not touched this topic yet so far, in a discussion. Who is the number one at the moment? Who will be the number one after the Shamrock Showdown 2011?
I mean, I think at this point, if it's so early in the season with so many member changes that it's really up in the air. I don't think any team is going to have that consistent top performance competition after competition after competition. I don't know if you guys would agree. What do you think, Solly?
Well, in the female department, I'm not sure how good the girls are doing with a 50% change. Obviously, that's quite a big change for them. But having worked with the German girls, I think they're going to be very competitive at the moment.
Yes.
And so obviously, as you guys go through a rebuild, so I think their expectations are high. In the open category, I think just looking at the score margins, going back to Dubai and what Hayabusa and the French and Airspeed did then and what Airspeed did with France and Valentine's, I would probably have to go with Airspeed as a favorite. But it's still very early days and people are still building blocks for 2 years' time. And that means a lot of people are going back to the drawing table, people are learning new blocks, etc. So it's hard to say, but I'd probably pencil in Airspeed personally as a favorite right now.
At the moment, Hayabusa has the best record, a 3-0 winning record so far.
Based on comparison of the Airspeed to the French and Valentine's and Hayabusa to the French in the other competitions, it's probably Airspeed probably has the edge on paper.
Right.
You know, I mean, just based on numbers, it's pure math. But I mean, Hayabusa had a pretty good performance in the wind tunnel with a 20-plus point margin.
29.8.
But that was over a higher average, so it was still a smaller percentage than they did at Valentine's. But like I said, this early in the season, I think any team could have. The teams could have a really good meet, and they could also have some falters.
And to truly know, you've all got to be on the same drop zone on the same day.
At least now we're going to know.
Time, right? Yes, same draw, same situation.
Yeah, you got to have the same meet conditions, the same atmosphere.
I mean, it's going to be great. We've got 3 twin otters here. Scott Atlanta's got a fleet of airplanes. They just keep coming around the corner. It's been fantastic the last couple of days.
No, we're not going to keep it too fast during the meet because, you know, we have actually a mission which is to have good scores, accurate scores, and have them all up and posted before the next round begins. That's my mission for this meet. And the judges have agreed to work with this, and ChemScore have. So we will probably, you know, it will be different this time. We're not going to be that fast as in training. We'll slow down the pace a little bit. Does it? What do you think about that in general? Like, how important are the scores for somebody to know?
Shannon, what do you think? Take this one. I mean, you just walked in here. What do you think?
And they're calling you at the manifest.
Yeah, they are. If I had 2 teams, I'd be in trouble. No, I think it's important that a competitor always know the score before they go up, because they should have the option to how they deal with that. If a competitor wants to know the score, he should be able to find out. If he doesn't, then he doesn't have to, but it should be an option. And when it's not available, then they don't have that option.
I think it adds another element of sport to it, because if I know that I'm a little behind, I have to manage myself as a sportsman. Do I go harder? Do I do what I do and wait for them to falter? Without knowing the scores, you're just kind of playing with yourself.
Right. Yeah. But and I've seen it at too many meets recently, major meets, big meets, where you go up and you don't know what your own scores are, you don't know what the opponent's scores are, and I don't, I feel exactly the same, and I'm glad to hear that everybody feels the same.
I know that when we competed together on Magic, we did look at the scores and we did adjust our game plan based on where we were in the scores.
By the way, we have Deland Magic, 1, 2, 3. Who's missing?
Spark. Selling helmets?
Taking care of babies.
The first team that ever had a meet with 20 pointers and above.
That's history now, buddy.
I know.
It's called has been. Is that something that you guys do though? Is look at the scores and kind of adjust how you're going to go, or do you?
Yes, sure.
Yeah, for
of course, yes.
Yeah. And do you, with their fire,
Not at the lower levels.
but fire, you did the same thing. So I mean, they're coming from 3.
I think
world champions.
I think pressure
teams.
also tells. Even if you don't adjust your game plan at a 15, 16, 17 average, if you're in those teams, they know the pressure tells. If you know you're only 1 point up or 1 point down, and some teams, if you get the scores just before, just after the round, does it affect? It's pressure, and people are sitting in the plane not wanting to make a mistake. So I think it's great that the scores are all out before you go up. Right. Everyone knows. If you don't want to know it, as it was said, then so be it.
And in all sports, usually good athletes and good teams and competitors, they perform better under pressure. They bring out more of their performance under pressure. So I hear often that pressure is not good for anybody. It's actually not the truth, because in athletics, pressure makes you perform on your peak level usually.
Yeah. Well, that separates the top, right?
Well, so that is a mission. We'll be a little bit slower. We will have like 80-minute turnarounds or so. But so now we talk mostly about the current situation before the Shamrock. A little bit after. What would you guess? Like, I hear like airspeed is expected to be, but then on the other hand, I know that France is ready to post much better scores than at Valentine's after cleaning up, working on the exits and so forth. I know that Hayabusa is extremely strong, so I don't really believe that everybody really thinks airspeed will. I mean, it's everybody's game, we know that, but is that what it is? It's everybody's game.
I think so. It's so early, and with everybody's got new lineups. Which one gels and makes that jump back up to the 27 average that these guys set last year? One team is going to come together for sure and get back to that same level. Now, will 2 or 3? Hayabusa, we're starting off way more consistent than we ever have. Dennis has brought a new fire to the team, but he's still young. I've been skydiving longer than he's been alive.
How much will the competition draw matter? We have a competition draw live. You will pull it out of the hat again at the Clarion Hotel Thursday evening. How much is it going to matter? I'm sure that your teams that you're coaching, they will prefer this. They like a block. They don't. There's some weakness. What are the weaknesses? Let's go through the teams. Joey, what are the weaknesses that you see on Hayabusa? Which block or draw would they not like?
I'm going to take the fifth on that question. They're not afraid of anything. They're fearless Belgian commandos.
Yeah, hopefully we're going to see a couple of different techniques on the two new additions.
Yeah.
And the true test is when you've got three top-tier teams going against each other. So that will be interesting to watch that come out on the washing. Hopefully they'll get drawn, the two new blocks, or you work in some special magic that they have to be in there.
Not under it's under your control. Yeah. It will be under your control.
We're not in Russia. Did I say that?
We have to have a 5-point random.
Thank goodness we're not in Russia.
But I also think, some of the teams are training pretty hard right now. French, Belgium, these guys are making 12, 14, 16 jumps a day. It's probably not a classic build-up to a big competition for them as well. So, it's going to be on the day. I think it's going to be a nice benchmark, this competition, to see what people have to go away and do for the next sort of 4 or 5 months for a World Cup, and then another sort of 15, 16 months for a World Championship.
Yeah, we're taking advantage of the fast aircraft and the quick turnarounds that we get here. It's kind of DeLand and making 14, 15 jumps a day. We did 16 yesterday, we have 15 today, because we can make those jumps a lot quicker than we can elsewhere. So.
Yeah, and you have to make up a little bit for the first days where you lost a few.
I lost the team. I showed up, I was by myself. All right.
There are always some travel advantages recently. It's
Delta Airlines, make sure you can take your rigs anywhere on that plane.
All right, I guess you probably have to get ready for looking at some videos and prepare the teams for the next round. Thank you. This was one of the funnest and liveliest and most interesting talks that we've had in a while. I wish we should. Well, maybe we'll do it again.
Maybe we'll do. I'd venture to guess that we'll do this again.
Every day we should do that probably. Thank you, Joey Jones, for
no problem
anchoring our Shamrock Showdown.
Thank you, coaches, and we'll be back with more NSL TV.
Thank you. Everybody is back to normal operation now. Schmitty watching TV?
Yeah, no. I'm catching up on emails. I had a computer problem. But the German girl should be walking in any moment from a double. Brits are up for a triple, so I have a bit of quiet time.
Thanks for taking the time earlier.
No, what a pleasure. Thank you, Kurt.
Thank you. And here's Mr. Solly Williams back to normal operation after the NSL. After the coach's corner, daytime job. Here's what Marin is doing after he's done with the NSL talk. They're all doing different things. It's really interesting. And Shannon is the only one who is actually working.
I've got it fairly easy with one thing.
Now we're looking what's going on in the coach's life after the coach's corner, really.
Right.
There's Joey with his aftermath after the coach's corner.
After the coach's corner,
I'm checking out what every coach is actually doing after you're done with the NSL news. Working hard, yeah. There you go. Timing, okay.
He's gonna jump on there right now, but
Too late, Joe. You just found
Don't put the wrong video, Don't put the wrong video.